Hello people, Dr. Levi is here. Now, the Ramadan season is over and we also had our 48-hour fast. We shall still have one this coming weekend. However, these are some of the mistakes that I've noted during that Ramadan season and also during our 48-hour fast. And these are the things that you ask me after that fast. So I'm here to help you understand the mistakes that you do after or during a fast. Mistake number 1, you overeat. So overeating is a serious mistake that most of us get involved in after fasting. And I think the reason why we do that is because we think that just because we fasted, we need to reward ourselves with eating too much food. That is a problem because most of you will end up in diarrhea and constipation, and it's very annoying and it's very disturbing. So do not overeat just because you fasted. Just because you've invested your time in skipping meals does not mean that you take all those meals that you skipped in one sitting. Now this applies to all the fasts, whether intermittent, whether prolonged periodic fasts. Do not overeat just because you fasted. Now remember, the reason why we are fasting is, one, it is part of healthy living. So you need to combine it with healthy keto, with the sun, basking in the sun, with sleep, and with exercise. So fasting is part of that general healthy living. It's not like you fast and then eat bad foods. No, you fast as part of healthy living. So most of you understand, or I have made you understand through my videos here, that when you fast, you're actually shifting the body's energy mechanism or machinery from burning energy from food that you're eating to burning the fat energy that you've stored. So that is what we want to benefit from. We want to benefit from burning the fat that is stored in fat cells and also burning the glycogen in the liver, and not burning the food that we are eating. That's the reason why what you eat is very important. Again, we want to lower your insulin levels to a very low level and a very sustainable level, because through that we'll start to reverse insulin resistance, we'll reverse diabetes, we'll reverse obesity, and then we'll lead a healthy life. So that is longevity. So overeating or eating food all the time spikes your insulin in blood, and this insulin is the reason why you're not burning fat, because insulin prevents you from burning fat. Okay, so if you continue eating, and that's why also eating in portions and all the time is a problem, is a myth, because if you eat in portions and you eat the food that you eat are not regulated, you will have a problem. So we are trying to fast, we are trying to voluntarily hold ourselves from food so that we develop the food discipline, so that we lower insulin levels to a very manageable levels, and so that we start burning fat to get that energy that is stored in this fat. So that is why we fast. So we want to be in a caloric deficit, so that even if we eat food, we still have low calories. So therefore the body is forced to burn the fat that we are storing in this fat cell, so that we get to lose weight and reverse all those chronic conditions. Mistake number 2, eating everything just because you fasted. Now be mindful of what you eat after a fast. Remember, since our insulin is low, we want to lower it and maintain it at that level. And therefore, be mindful of what you eat. Make it keto and make it high in fat and low in carbohydrates. And also the frequency at which you're eating. Okay, because those two things are playing very important roles in your recovery or your healthy living. What you eat and the frequency at which you're eating these foods. Remember, as I just mentioned before, that we are combining healthy eating, the sun, sleep, and exercise with fasting. Okay, so it's not like we are fasting and then do other things later, eat the foods that we want to eat and the foods that we used to eat later. No, and that's the reason why most people who ask me, once I heal from my ulcers, should I go back to eating wheat products? Should I go back to eating mandazi and chapati? And the answer is no, because what you are eating is what led you to what you're trying to recover from. So if you continue, or if you go back to that, you will keep on going through this cycle. Okay, and you'll develop insulin resistance, which you want to avoid as much as possible. Again, I want you to know that consuming carbohydrates will cause an increase or a spike in insulin level, and that I already told you, it will block you from burning fat. Also, it will take you into cravings, because remember, when you eat carbohydrates, your pancreas gives you insulin to lower the sugar that is raising in blood. And this insulin lowers sugar to a level that is totally below the normal blood sugar levels. And the body will react by giving you cravings so that you can eat more carbohydrates to raise that blood sugar levels. That is a problem, because the more the insulin, the lower your chances of burning fat. And in physiology terms, we call insulin an anti-lipolytic hormone, meaning it prevents you from burning fat. I already explained that in a previous video. Now, we want to eat foods that will help us regulate insulin and also kill our cravings. And the reason why I always insist on animal fat is because basically animal fats, protein, and high fiber diet, they'll give you hormones that will help you they will help your body to stop eating, or to signal your body that, hey, we have had enough and therefore we cannot eat anymore. That's why when you eat eggs, you cannot eat too much eggs. When you eat meat, you cannot eat too much meat. As compared to carbohydrates, when you open up a pack of crisps, you will eat them all and you'll still crave for more. So, proteins will give you a hormone called peptide YY. So, peptide double Y. Okay? And this peptide signals the body to stop eating. It's a satiety hormone. If you eat animal fat, you'll produce cholecystokinin, the CCK. It's also a hormone that helps you to prevent yourself from eating too much. Then when you eat high fiber diet, that will give you stretch receptors. It will activate stretch receptors in your gut, and therefore this tells you, hey, it's enough, you cannot eat anymore. So those three foods give you hormones or give you signals to stop eating, so you cannot eat more. But processed foods are not satiety foods. Processed foods are actually hunger foods. Why? Because they activate your cravings, they give you high insulin levels, and also they are empty calories. Take for example pizza. If you eat it, it is it doesn't have any nutrients, so the body is struggling to get nutrients in this food, and it will keep craving for more food and still keep finding no nutrients in these foods. So you'll always eat these foods and you'll never get full, or you'll never get to satiety. And that is the reason why you'll always keep adding that weight. Now, reason number 3, or mistake number 3, is most of us do these things on our own. We don't have guidance. We just pop onto something on the internet, and we want to try it. We want to practice it because somebody lost weight. You want to do it. Please seek guidance, even from either medical profession or a dietary profession. And it's unfortunate that most of the medical practitioners and the dietitians are the ones who are messing people up. It's so unfortunate. However, you can still learn. You can still get people who are good with this information, and they can guide you through. Again, find a network of people who have the same interests. For example, if you have 5 people who are fat, 5 friends, that will automatically make you a fat person, because they will tend to influence your behavior and your eating patterns. Therefore, if you find people who are goal-oriented and want to lose weight or want to maintain a healthy living, it is easy for you to do this. That's the reason why we created a Telegram channel that is called Health and Wellness Spot. We have this YouTube channel that is also called Health and Wellness Spot. And all these are aimed or targeted at trying to help you get into a group of people who definitely have the same goals and same interests, who have suffered different conditions and they have recovered or they want to recover, and who have found a purpose within or amongst people who totally appreciate healthy living. So kindly join that Telegram channel, because that is where everything happens. Good. So also avoid triggers, because remember, the network of people that you have are the ones that will lead you to triggers. Now, if your house, maybe your library or your meditation zone is near the kitchen, that's a problem. You will be tempted to eat anything that is in the kitchen. So avoid the kitchen area. Avoid idleness. These are basically triggers that will lead you to breaking your fast, or these are triggers that will prevent you from living a healthy, partaking a healthy fast. The kitchen. Idleness. You don't read a book. You don't do anything. You don't even practice. You don't even go to the gym. Hunger is also a trigger for breaking a fast. And remember, hunger is a mindset. It's not the emptiness of the stomach. So sometimes you might have a full stomach, but you still feel hungry. So hunger might trigger you from breaking your fast and having all these issues. Again, there's something called ketogenic flu, okay, or ketotic flu. These are symptoms of a flu. You have that headache, you have that runny nose, you have all this confusion. because the body is adapting from what you used to eat and to start burning fat. So the body will respond, will give you this ketotic flu. And some of the media and some of medical practitioners will tell you that that is ketoacidosis. It's not. So once you feel that headache, you feel that muscle cramp, you feel that disturbance, and all that, the runny nose and the tiredness, do not give up, because that is now an adaptation of the body. Keep going. Drink a water that has a pinch of salt in it, and keep moving. Someday we'll do a video that basically tries to tell you how to handle those side effects or those effects that come as a result of fasting. So again, your job, when you're doing work, when you're working, and your work area, there's always tea at 10, there's always lunch at noon, and there's always all this tea at 4 again. So you're eating basically 5 meals a day and those snacks. That will be a problem. So you need to find a distraction. Even though if you're a chef, it's tough to you, and most of you even tell me we are people from Mujengo, those people who work on construction sites. Your job can really move you out of healthy living. However, fasting is for everybody. Fasting has no exemption. It's part of healthy living. So if you want to live healthy life, then start fasting.